Hey world, good evening. How y'all doing? This is Derek at Guy Meets World. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Guy Meets World 1. This video today is a destination video for Key West, Florida. I spent a couple trips down there. Went about 4 or 5 times just to make sure I got some good research. Got to get good research before I put it out there. So what I'm going to tell you guys today about Key West are as my page's motto says, go, see, do. Where to go, what to see, what to do. Just get up off the couch, go, see, and do it. All right, so we're going to jump right in. There's a few ways you can get down to Key West, Florida. One of the main ways that most people do is they just drive. Key West is located on US Highway 1. That's on the east coast of the United States. For everyone that's outside of the continental US, I can use my handy dandy map back here to show y'all. All right, so if you're on US Highway 1, that runs parallel to US Interstate 95 South. So US Highway 1 South, take it all the way down to the road ends and you are in Key West, Florida. From Miami, it's about a 3-hour trip from where I am here now in Fort Myers, Florida, which is about halfway in the state on the Gulf side. It takes me about 5 hours to drive. I've driven it. I've taken a catamaran boat. It's called the Key West Express. Hey, Jen. And you can also fly there. The flight code is EYW, and that flies you directly into Key West International Airport. But again, the main mode of transport or route of travel is driving down Highway 1. Hey Janine, how you doing? So driving down Highway 1, if you're leaving Miami, first key you'll hit is Key Largo. It's got some pretty nice spots in there. There's a restaurant I like to go to there on the Atlantic coast. It's called Snappers. Got really good food, really good live music, beautiful sights. There aren't too many places in Florida that have beach fun and sun. That's not a good time. So it's always a good place to go. Hey Lisa, how you doing? I'm gonna try to wave to my YouTubes, my people that I know that are logging on. If you're logging on again, I'm doing a simulcast. If you see me looking back and forth, I'm videoing for both YouTube and Instagram Live. And go to YouTube later because I'll also upload some pictures and videos as well to complement this video that we're doing. Again, so the drive from Miami is about 3 hours. If you're going to, the flight directly into Key West is pretty expensive. So I would suggest if you're coming in, flying to Miami or either Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale's airport is a little bit smaller than Miami. It's huge and crazy. But drive in, take a car. If you get in early that morning, you can spend the morning in Key Largo, have some brunch over at Snappers, enjoy some good times, good vibes, and then take the 2.5 hour drive on down into Key West. Once you get down to Key West, there's it's just like any other city. It sounds like an exotic destination with it, which it is. I won't take that away from it. But again, it's still just a regular old city. They've got a Home Depot. They've got Publix. They've got McDonald's. They've got Uber. They've got taxis. So if you're driving in, and parking is a big headache. The streets are really small because this town was built back in the early 1900s when cars virtually didn't exist or was coming into existence. So, and if you're going to be partying and drinking a lot, I strongly suggest just parking wherever you're going to be or find a parking spot and just Uber around, bring comfortable shoes if you want to walk around. One thing that I do like to do as when I go with every new city that I go into is take a trolley or the bus. Key West does not have a big bus like most traditional metropolises have. Excuse me. So they have two options. You can take the trolley, or you can take a train. And they're, tourist trolleys and trains. They'll give you points of interest, and um, it's basically transportation around town. For the trolley, there's 13 stops that you can stop off at. Um, it's live narration. The drivers, they all live on there. Most of them grown up on the island, so they know everything you want or need to know about the city of Key West. I recommend the trolley over the train because the train only has 4 stops. If you're trying to, get somewhere real quick, taking the trolley, you have a better chance of getting closer to your destination and not having to walk as long or as far. Once you get in there and once you decide what you want to do, there's a lot of things that you can do there. I'm not going to bore you with everything that you can look up on TripAdvisor and find. There's a Hemingway house, there's a butterfly conservatory, there's a little white house, there's beaches, there's excursions. There's a lot of things to do there. Mallory Square, we'll talk about Mallory Square a little bit later. It's one of the most beautiful sunsets I've seen out of the 29 plus countries I've traveled over the world. Stay. I've stayed at a few places since I've been down to Key West. Again, I've been 4 or 5 different times. So I, had the opportunity to explore a few different places. And one of the places I stayed was called, there's a Fairfield Inn. This is right as soon as you get in on the island, across from the Old Navy Hospital, which is now the VA hospital. It's a resort. I went there that time. It was about February-ish. Tickets were rooms were about $250 a night, plus resort fee. But there is a pool and a bar on site, and it gives you shuttle service to downtown Key West, where all the live action is. It's also on the Atlantic side, so depending on the room you can get a nice sunrise view, or you can easily step outside and enjoy the sunrise there. My very first time in the Key West, I drove in, so rather than paying those expensive prices down on the island, being an Army retiree, I was able to live on or stay at Homestead Air Reserve Base. If you're active or retired military, you get the benefit of staying on military bases for a discounted rate. And the price of that room was $45 a night. It's not a resort, but you're on a secure Air Force base, got a nice bed, got a hot shower. It's worth the money. Hey, Wendy. So yeah, $45 a night, Homestead Air Reserve Base for active and retired military. I lost my train of thought for a second. Yeah, so drove in. This one time I went, it was my first time going actually. I drove in from Homestead, spent the morning or afternoon in Key Largo, had brunch at Snappers, bounced around a little bit looking at a few of the smaller keys, but my main destination of course was Key West. Southernmost Inn, another time I went, I stayed at the Southernmost Inn. They are a resort also. They have a bar on site as well as a hot tub and a pool. What I liked about the Southernmost Inn is if you're going with a group of people, they have hostel type rooms, so you can share. There's 4 or 5 beds in a room. If you got a group of people going with you, continental breakfast, and it's just off of Duval Street and Truman Street. right on the shopping end of Duval, the upper end as they call it. The lower end is more of the entertainment, where all the bars and restaurants are. Um, and then most recently, stayed at the Southernmost House. The Southernmost House was a mansion that was built by Florida Curry. Her dad was the first billionaire, Florida millionaire. And again, I won't bore you with all the history of it, but that was a really nice stay. Very nice rooms. They also had a pool, and it overlooked the Atlantic, or the Straits of Florida. That's where the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico meet. For dining, see, a lot of different places you can eat at. Some of the places I've eaten on the times I've been down to Key West, or the original Margaritaville. That's where, Jimmy Buffett, it's his restaurant, that's his town. So a few of the tour guides have said, at any point in time, if he's in town, he'll just come up on stage and just play a song or two and entertain you. That's not uncommon. When I was in Oklahoma at Toby Keith's, I love this bar and grill. I'm just sitting there having dinner one night. Toby's in town. He gets on stage and he's playing. It's his bar. He can do it, right? I guess. So, original Margaritaville, they have a very good volcano or bucket of nachos, they call it. It's a huge mess of nachos. That's really good. Pepe's, ate there most recently. It's the oldest restaurant on Key West. It's a great place to eat. The Banana Cafe, just around the corner from the Southernmost Inn on Truman and Duval Streets. Banana Cafe is a bistro and creperie. It's a nice little French bistro. Has a really great menu of nice French cuisine type brunches. Seaside Cafe. Seaside Cafe is in conjunction with the Southernmost House. It's on the same property. They have a really good lobster pizza there. Their margaritas are really good as well. I strongly recommend those. And for dessert, of course, if you go into Key West, you got to have key lime pie. Kermit's Key Lime Pie Shop and the Key Lime Pie Company. Key Lime Pie Company was featured on The Prophet a few years ago. As with everything, they got hit by COVID, but right now they are currently open Monday through Friday. I want to say from 8 to 4. So not really on weekend touristy hours, but they're still keeping the doors open, which is a good thing. One other mode of transportation I failed to mention is my favorite mode of transportation now. Out of Key West, they have what's called the Key West Express. It is a 4-engine, 3-deck catamaran, 3 or 4 decks. But it jet sets you from Fort Myers down to Key West in about 3.5-4 hours. The prices on those tickets are about, I want to say about $150 round trip, and it leaves out of Fort Myers, Florida. That is the way I love to go now, because I definitely don't want to do that long drive. Let's see. Entertainment, excursions. Some of the excursions I've been on on my trips to Key West is I love the company Fury, Fury. They have a lot of different excursion packages that you can do. I went on their snorkeling and dolphin watching tour. These are a lot of tongue twisters, y'all. Whew. And I definitely recommend those. I went twice with 2 different boat captains, and I can easily say that between the two of them, they're both knowledgeable, both experienced, and I had a great time on both. Um, to the snorkeling area, they take you out about maybe, I mean, it's really shallow waters, maybe about 5 feet. Um, my first time I actually snorkeled, for those of you who know, I don't swim, but I was comfortable and confident enough in the captain and her first mate that they actually got me out there to snorkel. I mean, I was on a life ring and I was holding on for dear life, but I got off the boat and I did it, and I saw some great stuff down there. So if you want to do snorkeling and dolphin watching, I will strongly recommend Fury's Snorkel and Dolphin Tour. Fury also has the Party Cat boat that goes out at sunset. It is a party on a catamaran. It's live music. It's a DJ. It's alcohol. It is a great time. It is probably the loudest and best party boat out there. I've never been on it personally, but I've been at the docks waiting on other sunset cruises and excursions, and both times I kind of wish I was on that Fury Cat party boat. I took my first sail on the When and If. The When and If sailboat is it's a sailboat that was built for General Patton. For those of you who know, General Patton was the field commander in World War II. He built this sailboat, and he promised his wife Bee that when the war ends and if he makes it out alive, that they will sail the world. Unfortunately, General Patton did not make it. He made it through the war, but he ended up getting hit by a car in Germany a few weeks later. So they sold the boat off. His estate sold the boat off. He did some repairs, and now it's back up and running. They're building up revenue now to fulfill his lifelong dream of selling that sailboat around the world. It spends winters down here in Key West. In the summertime, it goes back up north to Massachusetts, where it gets repair work done and does sailing up there. So if you're going to go on a sail tour, I would strongly recommend the When and If. And again, for all this information, I'm going to put it in the description block so you guys can have this information. If you're just tuning in with me on this live, I'm talking about places to go see and do in Key West, Florida. Party town. Key West is a party town. The main drag where all the partying and action happens is on Duval Street. Duval Street is like the Bourbon Street of Mardi Gras, or the Rodeo Drive of Beverly Hills. It's the Fifth Avenue of New York. It's where all the action happens. The lower end of it, again, is all the bars and parties. And on the upper end is where all the shops and restaurants are. Hey Jazzy, I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm working simulcast on a YouTube and on this Instagram live, so check out the YouTube page in a few hours, or maybe tomorrow. I'm going to upload a complete video with descriptions and locations of everything I talked about here and places to go see and do. If you got any other questions about it to help, or need help planning your trip, just hit me up and I'll make sure I get you guys hooked up. So when you're on Duval Street, some places that you must go, like must go. Jimmy Buffett's I Love This, Original Margaritaville, that's on Duval Street. All told, I just found out yesterday, and I was surprised to learn this. There are 200 bars on Duval Street. If you look at it, it doesn't look like it, but they got they put bars on top of each other. They stack them 3 high. I didn't even realize this because I was so focused, laser focused on all the entertainment going on the first level. I never even thought that they'd have more bars up in the second and third floors. Marley, yes, please do the Key West Express. Hit me up later and I'll give you some more information on it. So as you're on Duval Street, some of the places you must go to. Margaritaville. Sloppy Joe's. Sloppy Joe's is a bar that Hemingway used to hang out at every night back in his heyday. They have all these places have live music, good bar food, but great entertainment. Hog's Breath Bar. It's a really nice outdoor open bar. They've got again really great drinks, live music. There's not too many places you can't go and you won't have a good time, but I strongly recommend these places. Just for shits and giggles, and excuse me if you got your kids watching with you. The smallest bar is about the size of a closet. Is probably intentionally meant to be an alleyway, but they just put an archway over it, blocked it off a little bit, and you can probably get about 5 or 6 people in there. It is a full bar. They sell full cocktails, and they have music. Not live music because it's not big enough, but it's a nice little place to hang out to say that you've been to the smallest bar on Key West. Mangoes is a beer garden. Again, great drinks, great entertainment. There was actually a birthday party there a few days ago. Hey, Danielle. Where the drag queens from the LGBT block of Duval, and I'll talk about that in a second. They came up and they were doing a show for some people for their birthday. Willie T's it's a beer garden as well, open. But the service is really slow. If you're going to Willie T's, the host is great about seating you, but the waitresses are slow. Go to the bar, or if you see a waitress, grab her, because if not, you're just going to be sitting there waiting. Old Town Tavern, they have really good food there. I had a really good bacon cheeseburger from them a few nights ago. And most importantly, Irish Kevin's. Irish Kevin's is an Irish bar, and every night is a party at Irish Kevin's. The host or the singer, he usually plays the guitar. He's always playing the guitar. He's always having a good time. He's bringing people up on stage, whether you're having a bachelor party, bachelorette party, it's your birthday. They did a salute to the military on this past Saturday. He pulled me up on stage. Thank you for your service. Pour a shot in your mouth. One of the biggest things about Irish Kevin's is, though, that if you're on stage, it's your birthday, you're a bachelor or bachelorette, he makes it his business to try to get you messed up or wasted while you're there. He has a clock behind him, and he times you. See how fast you can down a pint of Guinness, because again, it's an Irish bar. I was in there Saturday night, and there was this 20-something college girl, and she downed a pint of Guinness in about 3 seconds. Very impressive. Very impressive. I think just before her, there was a military Marine that, hey, Jamie, there was a Marine. He did his in like 4.28 seconds, but she put him to shame. 3 seconds. It was great. It was fun. So definitely go to Irish Kevin's. You'll be talking about it next week. As you're walking your way up and down Duval Street, a lot of the bars, they keep the architectural integrity of the period. a lot of the buildings. So it's not uncommon to find a Walgreens in an old movie theater. They call it the fanciest Walgreens in the world because it is. There is a Circle K convenience store. You have to really look at the signs because they blend right in with the rest of the shops. And there's a Wendy's fast food restaurant on the corner. There was one place that I usually don't not recommend stuff, but because Mama said if you don't have anything nice to say about anybody, don't say anything at all. But there's a hot dog stand on the corner, and she sells hot dogs. I was fascinated by it because she sold a hot dog hamburger, or hamburger hot dog, and basically it was just a hot dog, a hamburger in hot dog form. But she was out of those. The hot dogs and the sausage dogs, they were $10 each. I love supporting local, but give me $10 quality if I'm gonna pay $10 for a hot dog or a sausage dog. So I do not recommend that place. A lot of artists. I'm happy to see that places are opening back up. The artists are able to get back out and show off their work, their hard work. And if you get a chance, or if you need some place to cool off, walk into an art gallery. They're always open. They're always friendly, and you'll see some beautiful local works of art. A few blocks down, I want to say midway between the party district and the food and shopping district, there is what I call, I don't know the official name for it. It's called it's the LGBT block. You'll notice it because the crosswalks have the rainbow flags. Great bars there too. The drag queens, they're funny. They have shows usually like 9 or 11. I forgot the actual name of one of the bars that they're at. But if they're just hanging out on the street and they're trying to get people in for the show, they'll drag you in for the show. From what I'm told, I haven't had that chance to make it to one yet, but they always have a great show. When I heard them doing the birthday party over at Mango's, they have a great time. Hello, Patricia. Check out a drag show. There's gentleman clubs. There's lots of things to do down Duval. I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. So if you guys have any questions about this afterwards, make sure to go over to the YouTube channel and like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Here on Instagram, leave me your comments. Hit me in DM if you got any questions or you need help planning a trip. And again, I'm doing this both on YouTube and Instagram. The YouTube video will have some pictures involved. One other thing before I get off, I'm going to start a Patreon site. I wanted to do OnlyFans, but everybody laughed at it because they think OnlyFans is just for sex stuff. I don't know why. But I'm going to showcase some of the pictures and videos that I do, that I take on my Patreon. If you want to support me, it'll be, a monthly subscription, $4.99, $5.99. I haven't decided exactly what it'll be yet. But every video or picture that I take, I will upload it to Patreon monthly. So you guys can enjoy all of the pictures I take. The ones I post online for free, they're just, just a sample of some of the stuff that I do. But, this is my passion. This is what I do with my retirement now. So I need to be compensated in some kind of way. All right, so we're coming around right around 30 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, leave them here on Instagram or over on the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends about me. I'm also on Facebook. I'm on all 3 platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Guy Meets World 1. Hope you guys have a great evening. And tune in tomorrow.